Hey everyone, my name's Gilly and this is Pint-Sized Adventures, first episode. And this one's about the filming locations for the cult classic B movie Hell's Angels on Wheels from 1967, starring Jack Nicholson. And as you can see, hanging out with old Colonel Baker here, the founder of Bakersfield itself. So let's not waste any time and get right into it, yeah? Let's learn you some shit. Hell's Angels on Wheels is a 1967 cult classic action drama directed by Richard Rush, whom a little over a decade later would be nominated for Best Director for his 1980 black comedy, The Stuntman. But that's a whole nother story. Hell's Angels on Wheels stars a then up-and-coming and shockingly young actor, Jack Nicholson, as a character named Poet, who comes across as a little rough around the edges, yet still relatable. Poet's cinematic adventure begins when a Hell's Angel damages his motorcycle's headlight in a bar's parking lot. That event would set in motion a series of events that would lead Poet into the center of the outside of society style life of the outlaw biker. I hadn't seen this film before I did this video, but I must say, I found this film to be a great example of the acting potential of a young Jack Nicholson, in which his performance left no doubt that he was destined for fame in the film industry. As a huge fan of exploitation and B-movies, I highly recommend this film, and it was filmed in the Central Valley of California in a little place called Bakersfield, which I so happen to have access to because, well, I live here. So what are we sitting around here for? Let's get this show on the road. Specifically, downtown Bakersfield, a place I'm more than familiar with. Oh, and on a side note, there's a scene in the film that features no one other than Hunter S. Thompson. Pretty rad, right? If you don't know who Hunter S. Thompson is, well, good for you. You'll find out if you want to. We will only be covering strictly the filming locations in Bakersfield itself and Bakersfield alone. Alright, so now I'm here downtown. We're about to check out some of these locations here, but the first ones we're going to check out is at the beginning of the movie when they're on 19th Street. That's what we're going to be checking out first. So in order to do that, I've got to walk down to 19th Street. So here we are, downtown Bakersfield on the 1200 block of 19th Street. The street that the bikers actually drive down at the beginning of the film. And as you take a look around, you can see that it's changed quite significantly since 1967. Some of these buildings are closed down. Some of them are totally different businesses. Some of them are straight up missing. It's changed quite a bit, but you can tell 100% that this is the street that they were on. There are remnants everywhere of the past. But we're going to take a closer look at some of these buildings, some that are still here and some that are missing. Such as Mad Dog Tattoo, my cousin Mark De Leon's shop. He's owned this place for a couple of decades. He had told me the last time I talked to him that there was a building up there, used to be a hotel. This parking lot, for example, totally wasn't the parking lot before. It was a row of buildings that connected the Bakersfield Hotel here with Mad Dog. But yeah, now it's just a parking lot. We walk past Cinema 19. We're gonna check out what these other places were. We're coming up on this pawn shop here. This pawn shop used to be Toy Circus, but now it's Griffin's Pawn Shop. And it's been this pawn shop for as long as I can remember. Now we're gonna move on to the next block here. You can see there's no buildings here anymore, it's just a parking structure now. But yeah, this is the 1300 block of 19th Street. Now this block here, they spent a little bit of time on. I believe they shot on here more than once to make the street seem longer. But on a side note, this corner here is a famous pea spot for people of my generation. We're gonna go further along the street, this long parking structure that pretty much takes up the whole block. But yeah, they drove down the street. You see some of these shops here in the scene when the people are gathered around, which from what I heard, they were extras and people that were just checking out the filming. Now coming up here is the Crest building, but we'll handle that when we check out the next block. Right now we're gonna stay here, check out one of my favorite spots, Toys and Comics. This is actually in the background of a scene when they're coming through on their bikes. But yeah, this is a great spot for toys. So we're gonna go further along down this side of the street. And then we can see there's a Mexican restaurant here. Coming up on this dog grooming spot. This was actually in the background. Downtown Thrift is another one of my favorite places. And downtown Fineland is a tattoo shop I used to work at. But yeah, this was also in the shot in the background. Having a quick smoke break at downtown Fineland. Smoking's bad in cake. It'll stunt your growth, and then you'll be pint-sized too. So let's continue on. You can see here on the corner, Mikasa Home Furniture's there. On a side note, yes, and this is Tiki Co. Beautiful spot. Now we're on to the Crest building. This building's been here forever. It's on the 1400 block of 19th Street. Another part of the movie where they filmed over and over on this block to make it look longer. But yeah, I used to come to the Crest building in high school for AIDS consortium meetings. But yeah, it's a beautiful Art Deco building. I love it. It's such a beautiful building. I've always thought it was a beautiful building. But you can see it in the background, many of the shots of the film. And here's a commemorative plaque. This was put up by the Kern County Historical Society and was dedicated in 2015. S&H Crest & Company was the trading name of a national chain of five and dime retail department stores operating from 1896 to 1981. Opening in 1931, this three-story reinforced steel and masonry building was designed by New York City-based architect Edward F. Sibbert, who was the architect for all Crest department stores. The oranges and distract blossoms above the windows and on the trim are reference to Kern County's citrus industry. The building is amongst the finest examples of the Art Deco architectural style in Bakersfield. The Crest department store closed in 1974 and reopened as office space in 1984. Now we're coming up on one of me and my wife's favorite spots to shop, which is Merry-Go-Round Antique Mall. They always have cool stuff here, down to comic books, records, furniture, clothes, pretty much everything. This is a place that's also in the background of the scene where the biker gets into the car. Which, by the way, actually met somebody who said it was their mother who was in there that gave the famous line, if you got it, we'll smoke it. Now we're coming up on Han Ramen, also in the background of the scene. But yeah, they came through that way, down this way. So let's walk a little further and check out more. And again, to the left of us is another parking lot where some buildings used to be. A lot of the empty lots were turned into parking lots such as these to help accommodate, you know, the flow of people in these businesses that surround it. Now this building, I'm not sure if it was actually there, if it was rebuilt completely, but it does look like parts of it were here in the film. And across the street there's the infamous Best Drugs, sort of a staple downtown. We're gonna get a quick view of the other side of the street with the Woolworths. This was the last Woolworths in America that still had a diner, but they're working on it right now. But yeah, we're gonna check out this side of the street a little bit to kind of get more of the angle of where they shot the film, or how they shot the film specifically. But yeah, you can see it's changed, but not enough to where you couldn't recognize that it was in this film.
You tell him, man.
This is it. This is the location of the gas station where it used to stand, right on the corner of Martin Luther Drive and East California Avenue. And as you can see, the gas station was torn down to make room for this. But yeah, this was definitely the spot. After careful research between me and the wife, we figured it out. That gas station's down there, 100%. So this spot, the spot of the gas station, was probably the hardest one to film. It's the hardest one to film because they completely tore it down. So all I really got is, the street corner, and then get inside, look under the fence to see inside the yard just really quickly. I don't want to get into too much trouble. But this definitely was the spot. And when Jack Nicholson's character Poet rides off after quitting his job, what you see behind him, all those little houses, that's where the projects are now. And the buildings are totally different, as you can see in this video. It's the same, but it isn't the same, it's actually hasn't changed as much as I thought it would have since 1967, because I only know it how it looks now, because I spent some time living in this area, and yeah, dude, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that places that I grew up are connected with a Jack Nicholson movie. Who would have knew? So it was right here, Ruth's Bar. Right here is where all the bikers, they all gathered up. And this is the spot right here in front of me is where Jack Nicholson's character Poet, his headlight was broken, and they went inside of there, into Ruth's Bar. And this is right across the street from Kernwood Beauty Supply, which used to be the Foontown when I was a kid. It is now Mosco's Car Wash and Detail. You should come by and get your car detailed while you're at it. But yeah, this was the spot. You can see on this other side, there's C&D Nutrition Center. But yeah, you can tell by the windows here where they're placed. All of this This is definitely the spot. And over here, in one shot in the background, you can actually see that sign. Because this is where there was a dry cleaning spot was next door. Right here. Where this defunct building is. You can even see a gate in the movie. For just like a split second, you can see part of that gate. But that awning's still there. It's pretty much still intact. It's just a different color, and now it's this detailing spot. Mosco's detailing spot. Pretty rad. You guys want to go inside? And here's what it looks like on the inside for the moment. It's been totally changed. But yeah, this is where a good portion of filming was. The Kennemer Center is sort of like a halfway house, a men's home. And I only know this because my uncle's been here a few times. But back when they filmed this movie, Hell's Angels on Wheels, it was the Bakersfield Inn. You know, and from what I gather, it was the Bakersfield Inn for a while when everybody was coming through this, Union Avenue, which used to be the Highway 99, which is now actually located further down. What would that be? West. A lot further down west. But yeah, if you ever want to come check it out, this is right on the corner of California and Union Avenue. Just look for the Wiener Schnitzel. You know, that Wiener Schnitzel's been in, as far as I know right now, Hell's Angels on Wheels and Any Which Way But, the sequel to Any Which Way But Loose. It was also featured in that, which I'll be doing a video of that at some point. And how do I know this is probably the spot most likely? Is because look at this. Don't those look familiar to you? This is Turning Point, the Kennemer Center, which is what it's been for a long, long time now. But right there, up there on the top of that little pillar, that's where the old Bakersfield sign was connected when Union Street here, or Union Avenue here, was the original Highway 99. And that sign actually went from there, right arced across there, to over there where there's a Superior Grocers. And an AM PM. But yeah, this is definitely the spot. Now this was obviously an entrance I thought that they came in through here, but upon editing, they didn't go into this side. They actually went across the street because I had forgotten that the Bakersfield Inn, what this building used to be, they used to have two sections. with the sign that went across. So this is definitely not the spot where they were hanging out. But I do believe that it's possible that they did have the big fight in the courtyard at this place. So I'm gonna attempt to get in there right now. I'm gonna go and talk to them. Hopefully somebody's there, and we'll see if we can't get into the courtyard and see if it still looks the same. So I just tried to get into the Kennemer Center to see if the courtyard was where they had the fight. They weren't letting me in. They're saying it's ran by CDC. They got, you know, it's a rehab facility, basically a halfway house sort of situation. I kind of figured they wouldn't let me in. They were a little rude, but not too rude. It's understandable, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm a little disappointed I couldn't check it out. So if anybody else that wants to do a similar filming location on this movie, just know that they might give you a little hard time, you know what I mean? But oh well, I guess that's how it goes sometimes. At least I didn't try to get into the Desert Star Motel, you know? So the other half of the Bakersfield Inn was right here off of the corner of Union and California. And as you can see behind me, it is now an AM PM. It's completely gone. Now if we turn this way and you look right here down Union, right there was where the sign used to be, the Bakersfield sign that connected both sides of the Bakersfield Inn. But once they had the fire at the Bakersfield Inn, which was a little bit after the filming of the movie, they ended up condemning this side. I remember growing up, this side, it was closed down the whole time. But the sign was still here. And some people believe that the Bakersfield sign that was right across here was actually relocated off of Buck Owens Boulevard out on the other side of, sort of at the mouth of Oildale. But that's not true. The one that's actually on Buck Owens isn't the real one. The real one, I've heard, is sitting in a storage unit rotting, which is unfortunate, but you know, that's how a lot of things end up. But yeah, but this is the spot. And so when they drove in off of Union right here, came along here, and the hotel was right over there. So they parked somewhere over here. And I believe that this is actually the area where they went into the bar. While I was editing, I had to come back and film this, so I'm using the new camera. But what I noticed was that the angle of which the Wiener Schnitzel out that way, the Wiener Schnitzel that, let me see, the Wiener Schnitzel that's behind me, that's where I thought, you know, it was closer, the shot was closer, but it was actually from right here where I'm standing at. I believe it was over here somewhere. When the bikers first show up to the Bakersfield Inn to go to the bar, I believe I'm standing where the bar was. And where that is right here at this AM PM subway.
You're a rat! You're a rat! A beautiful rat!
The king rat, baby! Now maybe some of you noticed that there are these little buildings to the left and right. Let's check them out and see what they look like inside just real quick. So it looks like these are benches. Look at that. It's a light up there. It looks like there's a little nest up there. Doesn't look like it's active though. Lots of spider webs kind of tell me that. But yeah. Look at that. That is the one on the left side. Let's check out the one to the right of the sign and see how that one looks. These posts look like they may have held the gate or something. I see hinges there. Yeah, it's same situation. No nest up there though. But yeah. A lot of little droppings though from rodents, it looks like. So let's head on inside, shall we? So here is an informative sign right when you pull into Hart Park. As you can see, there's a map here that covers the whole park. I believe they probably shot some of those scenes that were filmed here on maybe the outside roads of this place, but specifically on the right side, but we're gonna figure that out. But yeah, if you guys want to check out this sign, a lot of people come down here usually during the weekends and just like cruise around, have barbecues and stuff. Now this sign is here because a lot of people throughout the years, ever since I was a little kid, my dog Zeppelin, actually, when I was pretty young, was one of the animals that was left here. I mean, Zeppelin found his way home. As you pull into Hart Park, you're greeted by this beautiful little, I guess, pond. It's not necessarily a lake, but as you can see, somebody's fishing there. When I was a kid, my dad used to bring us down here all the time. Swimming is prohibited in this thing. There are ducks, lots of ducks that you can see. I don't want to be too loud because that guy's fishing over there. Look at all them little duck friends. So this is definitely the spot. You can see that hill there that's in the background, that road, those trees right there in the background. These trees where I parked my bike was where the motorcycle was parked. You see these two trees right next to it, and that knot that's down there in the fork in the tree on the right side, that knot's in it. This is definitely the tree where some conversations happened. And they came along a road back there, right up here to meet up in this area. It's shot more like this. It's very low shot. But yeah, that is the tree, man. And if you're curious to know exactly where it is, there's actually a sign here. There's this piece of concrete here. And this is how you find it if you want to come and check it out. Being that this is the tree, which means that they drove along up this way in the park. One of them crashed, or play crashed, I don't know what to call it. I'm sure there's a term for it, but he slid his bike right here. And they all gathered around this tree. Pretty radical. This is rad. I'm standing where they filmed it. 1967, dude. It's 2025. That was a long time ago, man. I wasn't even born yet. I was born in 1978, man. Totally carbon dating myself. But yeah, dude, it's a beautiful spot still. Look at these. So these are where some squirrels and other small creatures live in. A lot of them are around here. A lot of them are in Bakersfield at our parks, just in general. But I'm here because this tree, I think this could be the tree where the conversation was had, you know, when dude's talking about how he likes being the leader. But the reason why I think this could be the tree is if you notice in the shot, when they have the camera on the woman, she's got all these little sticks behind her, like all these little branches that seem to come out of the ground or something. I believe these are them. There's no other trees around here that I see that have these. It's directly behind the white tree where I parked my bike, where they were playing, but I believe that this could be the tree. And I tried to look up at these branches that are up. These trees are obviously, you know, they get manicured. So you can see like some of the ends of these branches have been completely cut off. But I do believe this could be the tree. I even went by like the bark. The bark on most of these trees look like this. There's not too many of them that can match. I mean, that was in 1967, man. It's hard to match shots because, you know, I am an amateur. This is the first time, but I mean, what can you expect? I don't go to fancy restaurants, but I think this is a good enough place than any to smoke a cigarette. Hopefully, hope I don't get in trouble because I really don't know. It's been so long. I don't know if I can get in trouble for that. But if I do, I'll let you know. We're gonna chill right here. Ooh, we got a visitor, guys. Want to see it? That's one thing I didn't tell you guys. There are tons of indigenous animals in this area, but what it's most famous for are peacocks. I think I'd read somewhere that somebody had said nature is the only true technology, and I firmly believe that. One thing that I'd like to be clear about, so there's no misunderstanding. I don't like living in Bakersfield. I don't, actually. I never have my whole life. I did move away once. I went to San Francisco, lived in the Mission. But so far doing this video is doing what I kind of half expected it to do, which is through all the old memories that I have of all these areas and the new things that I'm learning, it is giving me a bit more of an appreciation of this place, you know, and you know, when you think about it, you probably hate where you're from, right? But without that place, you wouldn't be who you are, you know? And I like who I am, and I hope you like who you are, you know? So here we are. This is definitely it. Check this out. You can actually see where this main road that's right here, how it goes up and the old trail that converges. And that's pretty much it for Hart Park. Yeah, look at it, it's right behind me. I wish it would, there we go. I'm still learning, y'all, I'm still learning. But I'm here, man. You can come check it out. I'll show you the surrounding areas. So I'm here at the location of the gas station where the bikers are getting harassed. It's now fast food. And it's right here on the corner of White Lane and South H. We're gonna take a good look at it right now. We're gonna check it out and see how much has changed. So we're just gonna check out some spots on the fast strip as well, get some angles and see what we can catch. So right here, this the left side of the building. I guess that would be the south side of the building. So somewhere around here was where Jack Nicholson had a nice cold drink. Right about here, possibly. If this was the same building, it would be around here somewhere. Yeah, and so you would see that view there
which I will try to line up as best as I can. Yeah, here's a shot here. This could be a shot. And there's still gas pumps in this side. So if this is the building, the fast trip, which I doubt, I'm pretty sure the building was further along down that way. But there's the back wall where the sheriff came out when they're running him out of town. That's the wall back there. And it's pretty far from the building, so I'm thinking that this building was built sometime after the old building was torn down. But this is behind Fast Trip, but we'll take a little walk and check this out. I'm gonna look at everything so I can line it up later and make absolute sure. I mean, it's possible, but the building looked like it was pretty close. That it was pretty close to that wall back there. But you could see, what I believe is that the building was right there where the tanks are for the gas down there. That's where I think the building was. But like I always say, you guys know, correct me, this location took a little work to find through Facebook groups, Google, my wife, all of us. You know, this was a group effort. And a lot of people in that group don't even know that they helped out, but because I don't know them. But I hope they know it. Now, one way that helped me identify that this was the right spot was there's a light over here. I'm gonna try and get it to where you guys can see it, but there's a light post, like a lamp post down there. That's what helped me identify, because I saw the shot. Because this whole canal is in the shot. There's a canal that runs all along the length of H Street, right into South H where we are now, all the way down there. And we're actually going to go down there, because right after this scene, they did actually drive down that road. Only they did what they did in other shots. They reused a section and just drove back and forth and used both lanes, back and forth, back and forth. All right, so I'm here at Pioneer Village, inside of the Kurt County Museum. It's actually behind the museum. It's a part of the museum, and it's basically where they bring a lot of old buildings that have ties to Kern County, Bakersfield specifically. It's a pretty cool place. Now, I don't want to film too much here, because I was told when I first came in that you have to pay for footage if you're going to use it to make any kind of money or anything, which, you know, I'm not trying to do here. I'm just trying to document local history. I'm not really trying to make money off of this. I'm doing this because I want to do it, and I'm compelled to do it for some reason. So walking around, I'm looking for the church, and I see what looks like this church. I'm hoping this is actually it. It looks like we found it.
try my best to match up that opening shot on this scene. And this looks like the best I'm gonna do. As you can see, that house on the left in the background in the shot. But you can see it's much more lush now than it was in 1967. But it's a cool looking church, it really is. So let's take a look inside and see. Look at this. So they definitely tried to keep up with how it looked. These beautiful windows here. Much has changed. You can see here, they have glass, so you can't go inside. But I'll try to get as much as I can. Doors have been removed, and it looks like it's been that way for a long time. Look at this. Look at this place. So this is the right side of the church. This is an opening there. That was a cool thing that the son did there. I don't think these were in there in 1967, maybe. I could be wrong. Here's what the back of the church looks like. Surrounding area. Yeah, look at this place. They really take care of this place. As of this year, 2025, it's $10 to come in and check it out. This church over here, finding this church, realizing that this church was in Pioneer Village, worth the price of admission for me. Now we're going to look through the window on the left side of this place. I know it's kind of hard to see with the glare. I just want to get one more look. Bikes are lined up right there. This is where they got married. But yeah, this is it. And you can come see it anytime here at Pioneer Village. Look at that. Pretty cool. I'm not going to be filming much more of Pioneer Village. I just wanted to get the church from the film. I don't want to upset anybody here at Pioneer Village that works here, or that the curators and the people who take care of this place. But one day I'll talk to them about making a video here. I would love to make a video here. There's so much cool stuff here. Especially where I'm walking up to right now, which I'm not going to show, but well, maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit.
the Desert Star Motel. This is it. Let's check it out. So this is it. The Desert Star Motel. And as you can see, it's undergone many, many changes. And if you look back there, you can see there's only one building, one strip of rooms. But we're gonna try and get a better look. You can see there's still palm trees here. One strip of the motel room. But yeah, what's back there? I'm gonna try and get another view. But yeah, this is it. If you want to come down here and check it out, I would suggest not bothering any of the residents here, temporary or permanent. I'm not really going to try and bother them too much. Now, what I think they may have gone down that way, and the pool possibly could have been down there. But to be honest with you, it's changed so much, I have no idea. But if anybody who's watching this knows, please let me know, because I do plan on in the future doing a redo of this video, you know, as my equipment gets better. I will be going back there. I will figure it out, and I will talk to somebody and see, you know. But in the comments, let me know if you know anything about this particular property, the Desert Star Motel. Let me know. But this is pretty cool. Yeah, check that out. Yeah, you can see the sign's gone, the original sign. But there are remnants still there, you know? There's still parts you can tell where things were, you know? But I want to show you my favorite part. My favorite part is that the sign still says, "Sleep off the highway." Yeah. But this is definitely the spot. Right next to this spot. I'm not even sure what this is. I didn't look. I was so wrapped up in the excitement that I didn't even look to see what was next door. But yeah, so we'll do a little surrounding area shot. You guys can get a look about how everything is right now. So now that we've seen that, on to the next one, right? Can't wait to see the rest of these. We're almost done. Yeah, so Union Avenue used to be the Highway 99, like I may have mentioned before. It's now Union Avenue. You know, a lot of people used to come through here. A lot of celebrities back in the 50s and 60s used to come through here and stay at these hotels and party and stuff. And it was a really, you know, happening place, I guess, with my wife. But yeah, that pretty much takes care of this area for us.
So, a little side note on the Desert Star Motel. When I went to get the address for this place while I was editing the video, I ran across something pretty interesting about the place, and it's pretty nuts. I had no idea when I was out there anything that had ever happened there. So when I searched for the Desert Star Motel, an article showed up on the Department of Justice official website. That's www.justice.gov. And what it said was that the owner of the Desert Star Motel in Bakersfield sentenced to 4 years in prison for participation in sex trafficking enterprise. Yeah, right. And he had to pay over $1 million for using a facility of interstate commerce in aid of racketeering enterprise. Whoa. So yeah, no idea that was going on over there, man. Kind of changed it a little bit for me. But yeah, when you get a chance, check it out. So my bike had a flat when I went to Hart Park. On the way back, I got a flat on China Grade Loop in the middle of all the oil fields, you know? And there was absolutely no way for me to get out of there. So I had my wife come and pick me up. Luckily, she just gotten off of work. And so she came and picked me up, and I just bought, right now, a tire repair kit for it. And so when I get home, I'm gonna do that. But for now, I had a lift take me to this next location, which happens to be the Bakersfield Bluffs. And it's sort of like our scenic view people go and hang out at. And it stays pretty busy, you know. People come there to exercise and stuff like that. But why I'm at the Bluffs, you might be asking? You'll see. The bikers ride right along our bluffs, and it's pretty cool. The bluffs have changed quite a bit, but not enough that you won't be able to recognize it from the scene in the movie. I can't wait to show you guys this one. This one's pretty cool. We'll take a look around the bluffs, hopefully catch more wildlife. So far, I've seen the squirrels, but we have other things too. There's lots of other things out here. Lots of insects, lots of cool stuff. Yeah, this is pretty much the entire view. There's some residences out in that direction, a refinery. This is all oil fields out here. As far as you can see, all the way back there until the horizon, it's all oil fields. And I actually live way out there past what you could probably see. I live out in the middle of nowhere. We're doing a lot of walking today, which I don't mind, because I do a lot of walking anyway. I have one of those. Where we're at right now, I would say, is the edge of town. You know, even though it does expand more out in that direction, which is north, this is pretty much the edge of the east side of Bakersfield. You know, you can't really get any further out without going down, you know, the bluffs into the oil fields and the ranches and stuff that are on your way to Hart Park, you know. But yeah, it's pretty much, this is the edge of Bakersfield. This is the road that they possibly drove out on, and as you can see down there, a lot of the roads along the edges, you know, they cut out the side of the hills and stuff. But yeah, this is possibly one of the roads. We traveled out onto that and drove out onto Panorama and cruised alongside the bluffs there. Here's the view from the other side of that road, specifically the north side of that road. You'll see these fences along the path, I believe. I mean, you can tell they're new. So these are not the original fences from when that movie was filmed. But you can see they're all new. Is it wrong for me to, you know, have a lollipop in my mouth while everybody's out here exercising? I didn't think about that. But I assume it's better than smoking a cigarette in front of them, right? I mean, honestly, I don't really even care. It's just more of a respect thing. And here we have this memorial for Jamie Jean Kelly. Much love to her family. I hope she's resting well. In case anybody's wondering, as I walk the trail, at this moment I'm listening to Is There Life After Breakfast by Los Microwaves. So, I guess kind of new wave band. If perchance you are interested in the music that I keep referencing throughout this video, we'll have a link to a Spotify playlist with all the music that I listen to when I'm out here doing videos and stuff. What do you guys think? Should I drink out of this? Nah, I think I'll pass today. Well, I think that's it for the bluffs.
I don't want to do too much because I figure if I get more expansive, you know, with the facts about this area, that kind of starts becoming a bluffs video. And maybe I'll just do that sometime. But this ain't a bluffs video. This is about the film Hell's Angels on Wheels. So I think I'm gonna pack it up. Next location. That tower there. And I'm pretty sure that is the tower. Done. It's a bit bittersweet. Now I gotta put my money where my mouth is and finish the video. I love it. I love it.
So that was it. I just finished editing the video. We were able to pinpoint all the locations from Hell's Angels on Wheels. There was only 2 locations that we weren't able to pinpoint, unfortunately. The first one being the clubhouse. No idea where that building is. The only indication of anything was I think there was a BMW sign in the window, but other than that, there was no streets. You couldn't see the sky, you couldn't see anything, no landmarks, nothing. There was no way for me to figure that one out. If anybody knows where that is, please let me know in the comments or send me a message, anything. And the second location was the abandoned and dilapidated building that they hang out in at the end of the video. I wasn't able to find that one either. So if you guys know where any of these locations are, please let me know, because at some point down the line when I get better at this, I will be doing a revision of this video and checking out all those locations again. So thank you guys for watching, and till the next time.